Hello everybody. Since midterms are approaching, every student is worried about it. And in most of the schools, midterm includes only first three chapters, chapter number 6, 7, and 8. And I'm focusing on the MCQs relevant to midterm examination. And in today's lesson, I will explain you the questions relevant to May-June 2020, paper 3-2. And let's see how can we do this paper. And I suggest all of you to please stop the video when I show you the question. Stop the video, think about it, and once you have thought about the question, you have pointed out the answer, then please wait for a while and then you can start the video and see what was the correct answer. I'll be explaining each and every question, and definitely you might be able to solve all of these questions, and you might be having some problem or issue in the basic concept, so it will be really helpful for you. So for every question, stop the video, think about it. You can take 1 minute and afterwards you can play it again and see what is the correct answer and what is the logical reasoning for that correct answer. So let's hit it. Okay, we can discuss questions one by one. In question number one, examiner says, what is an example of negative externality? Negative externality is basically cost to the third party, and third party is a person who is neither producer nor consumer. So C is correct answer for this question. The increase in noise level from aircraft due to the expansion of a large city airport. Airport, if you are basically expanding airport, then it will cause more noise, and noise is a negative externality. So C is correct answer. Question says the diagram shows a firm operating in monopolistic competition. At which point is the firm allocatively efficient? The condition for allocative efficiency is very much clear, and that condition is MC should be equal to AR, and MC is equal to AR at point C. So C is correct answer. Question number three says the amount of training undertaken in mixed economy is not socially optimal. What could explain this? C is correct answer, and C says the individual's benefits from training is less than the social benefit or benefit to the society. Whenever individual benefit means private benefits, right? Whenever there is difference between social benefits and private benefits, it shows the existence of basically externalities. So whenever externalities exist, it is not socially optimum level of output. Okay, so whenever individual benefits from training are less than the social benefit is equal to external benefit, plus private benefit. Okay, if private benefits mean individual benefit mean private benefit, but private benefits are lesser than social benefits. If we move private benefit to the other side, then we can find out external benefit, and external benefits equal to social benefits minus private benefits. So if this amount is social benefit is greater than private benefit, it means external benefits will exist. Whenever external benefits or external cost exist, it shows that society is not producing at optimal level of output. It is underproducing or it is overproducing. So in this case, it will be underproducing because external benefits exist. Four bus companies control more than two-thirds of market in a country. When there are only four firms, one thing is really very clear that it will be an oligopoly firm, because in oligopoly the number of firms are a few. So four bus companies are a few number, and it shows that the firm will be an oligopoly. So we have to find out the feature of oligopoly. Okay, critics claim that these companies fix prices on some routes to maximize revenue while lowering prices on other routes to stop smaller competitors entering the market. Which anti-competitive practices are these companies accused of? So one thing is very clear that they are when they are fixing something, they are it means they are in collusion. So we can choose option A or B, and we can cross option C and D. So they are involved in collusion. Collusion means when they are making some common decisions, and they are fixing output or prices. And the second information is on some routes and on other routes to stop smaller competitors. On some routes, they fix prices and while lowering prices on other routes. Okay, so they are basically what they are doing is they are lowering price to stop entry, and when we do so, we are involved in limit pricing. Limit pricing is also known as predatory pricing policy. So price leadership is not present in this situation. Price leadership is when one firm reduces its price, others will also reduce it. But in this case, they are fixing price. No one is reducing price. Price war is not occurring in this case. Okay, if in case of price leadership, price leader is a firm which has lowest market price, and it would be considered as leader because all other firms will follow it. So price leadership, concept of price leadership is not present in this statement. However, limit pricing is because they are lowering prices on other routes to stop smaller competitors entering the market. So limit prices is predatory pricing policy in which one firm reduces, in which firms reduces their price to stop entry of new firms. On a diagram, the slope of a consumer's budget line becomes steeper. What can definitely be concluded from this? So D is correct answer for this statement, and why D is correct answer, we can make graph and verify it. For example, if we have an initial budget line, let's say it's AA, this is, let's say AB, we can say it's AB. This is horizontal axis, okay, horizontal axis. So the price has increased for product on the x-axis or horizontal axis. So if price of this product increases, which is X product, let's say, then what will happen? Budget line will shift like this. On y-axis, it will remain the same, but on x-axis, it will move inward from AB to AB1. So it was relatively flatter. Now it has become steeper. So D is correct answer. And in all other cases, if price decreases, in option C, if price decreases, then it will become more flatter even. So it cannot be correct answer. Some people were saying A, consumer's income has fallen. If consumer's income falls, then budget line will completely shift to the left. So flatterness or steepness on both graphs will remain the same. And consumers income has risen. If consumers income increases, then again budget line will shift to the right, and it will not affect flatness or steepness of the graph. However, in case of price effect, this line was relatively flatter, and now it has become steeper. Question number 6 is, the diagram shows two indifference curves and two budget lines for good X and Y. Okay. The consumer's initial position is at point F. The consumer's preferred final position becomes point H. How does the movement from F to G represent? So question is really very blurry, and examiner is basically pushing and pulling you to different points. And finally, he asks is, he or she asks is, you have to find out the reason for movement from F to G. So this is F and this is G. So this happens in case of since we can see that equilibrium is taking place at 2 points on the same IC curve, indifference curve IC1, and it happens in case of substitution effect, right? So one thing is clear that it will be a substitution effect. So we can cross first two options which are saying that it is income or price effect. So option C or D can be correct answers. Option C says the substitution effect of a price fall of X. If there is fall in price of X at point F, you can see that budget line is YX1. This is the budget line, right? And point G is on the same IC curve, IC1, and but its budget line will be different. And we can draw another budget line here to show tangency point at G. And when two lines cross each other, it is substitution effect. Since movement is such that we are moving to the right on x-axis, it means product X is relatively now cheaper, right? If we move like this, it means X is now relatively cheaper. So a price fall of X can cause this shift. So initial equilibrium was at point F. Now it has moved to point G. Okay, so IC curve will intersect, IC curve will, budget line will be tangent to the IC curve IC1 initially at point F, and afterwards it is tangent at point G. So C answer is correct answer. Substitution effect of a price rise of X. If there is a rise in price of X, then budget line must have shifted like this. And if it shifts like this, then there will be no equilibrium G point here. Point G is already at this point. Question number 7 says the table shows the total cost at different levels of output for a firm producing chairs. And what is average variable cost when output is 4 chairs? So average variable cost is calculated using formula. Average variable cost is equal to variable cost divided by quantity. So examiner has given us the quantity that is 4 chairs and we need variable cost. We know that the cost which we have to pay at 0 level of output is fixed cost. So 50 is the fixed cost. And on fourth unit or 4 number of chairs, we can find out variable cost, and variable cost is calculated as total cost minus fixed cost. So at this four number of chairs, total cost is equal to 94, and fixed cost we have identified that it is 50. So variable cost is equal to 44. So we can put the value 44 here. And now what we can do is we can just solve it. 4 ones are 4, 4 ones are 4. So average variable cost is equal to 11. So answer for question number 7 is option A. Question number 8 says, at which level of output will a firm achieve the aim of sales maximization? So question is about sales volume maximization. This is talking about quantity, not revenue. There are two different names. Sales volume maximization is different name and sales revenue maximization is different name. So sales maximization is sales volume maximization. So the condition for sales volume maximization is average cost should be equal to average revenue. And if we make graph for this scenario, then we can see that these are average revenues and marginal revenue curves. And this is marginal cost and this is average cost. So sales volume is maximized when average cost is equal to average revenue. So this is the point of sales volume maximization, point E. And sales revenue maximization is where marginal revenue is equal to 0. So in this situation, if examiner had asked about sales revenue maximization, then correct answer must be D, that is marginal revenue is equal to 0. But since it is talking about sales volume, so we will choose option A, that is average cost is equal to average revenue. Question number 9 says, in market economies, firms can operate under monopolistic competition. Which feature is not typically of this type of market structure? Okay, so we have to find out the feature which does not match with monopolistically competitive market structure. Non-price competition can be in monopolistic competition, mean firm may be promoting product like buy one get one free. So it may happen in monopolistic competition. Promotion of differentiated products, definitely in monopolistically competitive form, products are differentiated. So it is the feature of monopolistic competition. Unrestricted entry results in long-term normal profit. So there is unrestricted entry. Definitely there are no entry barriers in monopolistically competitive market. So it is again the part of monopolistic competition. So these three features are part of monopolistically competitive firm. So this is not the part of this kind of market structure. Okay, price leadership is the feature of oligopoly. Oligopoly is a market structure in which there are a few sellers who are selling products and there may be price war between them. If one firm reduces its price, it will be a leader, others will follow it. So price leadership is the feature of oligopoly market structure, not monopolistic competitive market. Will the principal agent problem occur? Principal is owner of the business, agent is worker who acts on behalf of the principal. Principal is owner of the business or he is head of institution, and worker is acting as an agent. Agent is any kind of person who acts on behalf of the principal. So what are the problems which generally occur between principal and agent, mean owner of the business or head of institution and worker? Option D is correct answer. When owners have different objectives from managers, managers are agents and owners are principals. So principal and managers may have different aims. So different aims or objectives, then it causes a problem. Because what owners may be thinking for producing greater volume of out, maximizing their revenue, maximizing their profit, and managers would be thinking about the higher salary raise in their salaries. So objectives of managers are different and owners are different. So this causes principal agent issue.